Hello, this is Wednesday, the 3rd of September 2014. I'm just continuing my little narration of SOTT.net's article 249840. It's about Thomas Sheridan and it's called From Internet Troll to Psychopathy Expert, the Con Artist of Thomas Sheridan. This is part 3. That last quote that I just put before the thing broke, there's a link to the full original post by Thomas Sheridan, and they've got the link. There are many more such posts, the details of which you can find on our forum here, or at the following Usenet, USENET groups. Links. Sheridan is either Thomas or Unki, UNKI, with KFUZZBOX at TINET.IE as his email address. Link and link. Such foul-mouthed rants certainly conflict with the image Sheridan projects as a counsellor to victims of psychopaths, who goes around giving talks on alchemy, mythology, consciousness and symbols, and how to transcend toxic people. Also, Tarot Psyche Workshop, a roadmap to the consciousness. In fact, we're reminded of the account written by Hervey Cleckley, that's HERVEYCLECKLEY, about the psychiatrist who periodically needed to defile himself. Link that was, in order to be able to maintain his mask of sanity at other times. Within the past day or two, Sheridan has realised that members of our forum had found his Usenet group postings and is now claiming that all of the filth he wrote there was satire or material for his stand-up comedy routine. Which it could be. I think it's funny. Strangely enough, this is precisely the kind of thing that pathological people will calmly do when they're caught red-handed, lie profusely. Sheridan is also claiming that his Usenet group postings are being quoted out of context on the CASS forum. This is not true, as anyone can clearly see for themselves by following the links. The thing that concerns us most here, because honestly, Sheridan is a nobody, by his own admission, is that Sheridan has attracted mainly female followers. Given all that we have discovered, we have little doubt that there are many women out there who have been victimised in one way or another by Thomas Sheridan, the punk rock psychologist. To be quite frank, based on our extensive experience dealing with such types and the experience of many of our forum members, it's likely that Sheridan is attempting to set himself up as an expert on psychopathy. For the same reason, paedophiles become school teachers and Boy Scout troop leaders. In an effort to get close to potential victims, his harem of fawning females on his Psychopath-free forum suggests that he has achieved some success in this effort already. These women need to know how he treated women in the past. And the true face of Thomas Sheridan. The link here to the book Women Who Love Psychopaths. The book Women Who Love Psychopaths by Sandra Brown is an excellent guide for women and men dealing with the fallout of a relationship with a psychopath. Consider now some of the traits of a psychopath drawn up by Dr. Robert Hare, Hare, who really is an expert on psychopathy. Hare devised the PCL-R-20 checklist, which is based on Harvey Cleckley's 16-item checklist. And ask yourself, does any of it fit with the known behaviours of Thomas Sheridan? Now, it's got this list, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it'll be all 12 of them, yeah, right. Glib, I don't even know what glib means. Glib and superficial charm. The tendency to be smooth, Paddy McIrishman, Paddy McPhilosopher, yep. Engaging, charming, slick, and verbally facile. Psychopathic charm is not in the least shy, self-conscious, or afraid to say anything. A psychopath never gets tongue-tied. They have freed themselves from social conventions about taking turns in talking, for example. Grandiose self-worth. A grossly inflated view of one's abilities and self-worth. Self-assured, opinionated, cocky, a braggart. Psychopaths are arrogant people who believe they are superior human beings. Need for stimulation or proneness to boredom. An excessive need for novel, thrilling and exciting stimulation, taking chances and doing things that are risky. Psychopaths often have a low self-discipline in carrying tasks through to completion because they get bored easily. They fail to work at the same job for any length of time, for example, or to finish tasks that they consider dull or routine. Pathological lying can be moderate or high. In moderate form, they will be shrewd, crafty, cunning, sly, and clever. In extreme form, they will be deceptive, deceitful, underhanded, unscrupulous, manipulative, and dishonest. Conning and manipulativeness. The use of deceit and deception to cheat, con, or defraud others for personal gain, distinguishes from item 4, in the degree to which exploitation and callous ruthlessness is present, as reflected in a lack of concern for the feelings and suffering of one's victims. Lack of remorse or guilt. A lack of feelings or concern for the losses, pain, and suffering of victims. A tendency to be unconcerned, dispassionate, cold-hearted, and unempathetic. Why didn't they just say unempathetic? This item is usually demonstrated by a disdain for one's victims. Shallow affect. That's affect, not effect. Emotional poverty or a limited range or depth of feelings, interpersonal coldness in spite of signs of open gregariousness. Callous and lack of empathy. Well, it's already said that. A lack of feelings towards people in general, cold, contemptuous, inconsiderate, and tactless. Parasitic lifestyle. An intentional, manipulative, selfish, and exploitative financial dependence on others, as reflected in a lack of motivation, low self-discipline, and an inability to begin or complete responsibilities. Poor behavioural controls. Expressions of irritability, annoyance, impatience, threats, aggression, and verbal abuse, inadequate control of anger, and temper, acting hastily. Promiscuous sexual behaviour, a variety of brief, superficial relations, numerous affairs, and indiscriminate selection of sexual partners, the maintenance of several relationships at the same time, a history of attempts to sexually coerce others into sexual activity, or taking great pride at discussing sexual exploits and conquests. Impulsivity, the occurrence of behaviours that are unpremeditated and lack reflection or planning. Inability to resist temptation, frustrations and urges, a lack of deliberation without considering the consequences. Foolhardy, rash, unpredictable, erratic and reckless. That's the end. Those interested in this topic should keep a close eye on the CAS forum thread, and it's called Puzzling People by Thomas Sheridan, a puzzling person. Right, so that's it. Well, as you can see there, they haven't got any kind of smoking guns. They're just saying that he's probably deliberately getting his psychopaths to impress women, and further, he's using it to try and fish out women that he thinks that he can get into. That's what they're trying to say. Okay, right, well, that's the end of that. So that's www.sott.net, and it's article 249840, and it's called From Internet Troll to Psychopathy Expert, The Con-Artistry of Thomas Sheridan, and this is by Joe Quinn and Niall, that's Niall, Bradley at sott.net, and it was written on Sunday the 19th of August 2012, so that's more than 2 years ago. And anyway, that's it. Right, okay, thanks very much. If you've got any comments, my name's Tom Cahill, and you can get hold of me anytime. I'll be interested to know what you think. So this is just a follow-up. I'm just going to put this up. I hadn't read it before. I just heard it's quite good, so I read through it. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.